Hello, good morning everyone. Actually, I will send you one recorded lecture today. So please see this. So in the today's lecture, we are going to see every compact T2 space is a normal space. In the last lecture, we have seen every compact T2 space is a regular space as well as it is a T3. Now we are going to see that every compact T2 space is a normal space. Okay. See, what is the statement of the theorem? Every compact T2 space is a normal space. We have to prove that every compact T2 space is a normal space. How to prove this? As we have seen very similar theorem we have seen in the last lecture that every compact T2 space is a regular space. Okay. So just instead of proving it to be a regular space, we will prove that to prove that we have to prove that X2 is a normal space. X2 is a normal space. So what is there in the proof? We are provided that X2 is a compact space. Next we are provided that X2 is T2 space. So how to use a compact and T2, that we will see. Okay. So if we have an open cover, then we can use a definition of a compact space, and if we get the two distinct points, then we can use a T2 space definition. Okay. So let us start with the consideration that we have to prove that X2 is a normal space. To prove any space to be a normal space, we have to start with the two disjoint closed set. Okay, which means that F1 intersection F2 is a empty. Starting with the two disjoint closed set, we should able to find out two disjoint open set. Okay, how to find out two disjoint open set? That we will find out with the help of a consideration. We have been provided that it is a T2 space as well as it is a compact space. Okay, so starting with the assumption that F1 and F2 are the two disjoint closed sets. So we will select one point from F1. Sorry, we will select one point from F1, and it is not obviously a point of F2 because both are disjoint. So obviously X will not be a member of a F2. Now let us select any point A from F2 on the consideration that A will not be a member of F1. Why it will be not be a member of F1? Because F1 and F2 both are a disjoint. So hence we can select one member from F1, one member from F2. In the diagram itself we can see this is what X and this is what say A. So here is your F2 and this is F1. These are two disjoint closed set. Okay. So now we can say that A and X are two distinct points. So as we are provided that given that you can say given that X2 is a T2 space. So if X2 is a T2 space, we can use the definition of a T2 space that there exists the two open set G and H such that the intersection of them is empty. That is, we can say we have two disjoint open sets such that one contain the point X. We can say X belongs to Gx and A belongs to, we will select it as GF2 because we will select it as GA or GF2. So let us select F1. How to write F1? As we know that every set can be written as a union of all the singleton sets. So simply F1 is written as a union of all singleton sets, and every singleton set we have written as it is consisting with the condition that it is having the open set Gx which contain the point X. Okay. So simply F1 is now surrounded by the open set. You can say that F1, we have many number of open set and F1 is covered by open set. So here also F2 will be covered by some another open sets. Uh, which implies this shows that F1 has an open cover. Okay, what is a open cover for F1? You can say this GX is a open cover for F1, but we know that. But we know that as F1 is a closed set and X2 is a compact space. Okay, so we know the theorem. What the theorem tells us that closed subset of a compact space is compact. By that theorem, we can say that F1 is closed. Similarly, you can say F2 is also closed because both are closed subsets of your compact space, which implies F2 is also a closed set. Okay, so we can say that now F1 has a finite subcover by definition of our compact set now. So which implies you can say F1 is compact set. Sorry. So by definition of a compact set, you can say F1 has a finite subcover. So every open cover of F1 will have a finite subcover. So F1 was initially covered by GX, but now it will be covered by finite number of elements from GX. Or we can say that finite number of open sets will cover your GX. Okay. So we can say now F1 is covered by finite number of open sets. Okay, initially we have assumption that F1 is a closed set. So with the help of that, we can say closed subset of a compact space is compact. So F1 is compact, which has a finite subcover. Okay, so that we can denote it as G. G is nothing but union of all GXI, where I runs from 1 to n. It is very similar to the theorem which we have proved in the last lecture that every compact T2 space is a regular space. Similarly, if you remember H, we have constructed with the help of GAI. So here we will construct it at GF2, where it is intersection of all GF2, where I runs from 1 to n. Okay, so first we should know that intersection of finite number of intersection of finite number of open set is open set and arbitrary union of open set is open set. So hence you can say there exists the open set G and H belongs to tau such that G is equal to union of all GXI where I runs from 1 to n, and H is equals to intersection of all G F2 where I runs from 1 to some n or m, whatever may be the number. Okay, and we can say that as X and F2 both are completely disjoint, or we can say X is not a member of F2, so we can say G intersection H is empty set, and hence which implies that we have started with the assumption that F1 and F2 are the two disjoint closed set, and hence we have found the two disjoint open sets also. So you can say F1 is contained in G and F2 is contained in H. Okay, here just now we have written F1 is contained in this one with the help of a definition of a compact space. So this is nothing but your G, no? F1 is contained in G, and similarly you can say that F2 is contained in H, and which implies that For two disjoint open set, for any two disjoint closed set, we have found the two disjoint open set, and hence we can say that X2 is a normal space. In the very similar way, you have to prove that the theorem every compact T2 space is a T4 space. So how to prove this theorem? Just now we have proved that every compact T2 space is a normal space. So to prove it is a T4, it is sufficient to prove it is a what we will prove? To prove it is a T4 space, we have to prove normal plus T1. But already it is a T2, no need to prove T1, and hence you can just write down the proof of the theorem which we have written just now. And next we have to add one statement that since what is a statement? Every T2 is a T1, and hence this X2 is normal from the last theorem plus T1 from this statement, and hence it is a T4 space. Okay. So very easy proof is there. Just you have to be very careful about that whenever you are going to read the statement. Okay. Next, we are going to prove that cofinite T space is a compact space. Show that cofinite T space is a compact space. Show that cofinite T space is a compact space. Okay, to start with the proof, what we will assume, let X2 be a cofinite T space. Let X2 be a cofinite T space. Let X be infinite set. And how the cofinite topology we have defined is phi union with A is a subset of X such that X minus A is a finite. To prove that X2 is a compact space. To prove that X2 is compact space. How to prove any space to be a compact space? How to prove any space to be a compact space? First we will say that X has a open cover, and if we are able to find out finite subcover for this one, then we can say that it is a compact space. Okay, so to discuss these cases, we have to go for the case 1. What is a case 1? We can select O alpha 1 is equal to X because X itself is an open set. If you don't remember, just go back to cofinite T space where we have written phi and X are also open and closed set, and we have proved that phi is a member of tau, X is a member of tau. Then we have proved finite intersection of member of tau and arbitrary intersection of arbitrary union of a open set from cofinite topology is again a member of tau. So those who don't remember, just go back and you can see. So what we have selected, let O alpha be the family of the open cover for X, and then first case O alpha 1 we have selected to be X, and itself is a finite subcover, so X I can say that it is covered by O alpha 1 itself, and hence the proof. Barabar na? X itself will cover itself. Okay, X is covered by X itself, and X is a एक set है ना? X has a covered by finite number of open sets. Okay, so hence we can say in the case 1 it is obviously having a finite subcover, which proves that in the case 1 it is a compact. Now let us go for the case 2. What is the case 2? We will select O alpha is not equal to X for all alpha belongs to the index set. Okay, now let us select or let us fix up O delta belongs to tau such that O delta complement is finite. O delta complement is finite. Right? Those who don't remember, just see the definition. What is the definition of tau? If you want to be a member of tau, either it should be an empty set or its complement is a finite. Now, if I am saying that O delta belongs to tau and we have selected all the O alphas not equal to X, बरोबर ना? आधी आपण काय सिलेक्ट केलं होतं? O alpha is 1 is equal to X. Out of all those O alpha, we have selected at least one be equal to X. So X will cover itself. But here we have selected O alpha are not equal to X. So possibility of case 1 is not here. So let us go for O delta belongs to the toe. So O delta complement is a finite set. So if O delta complement is a finite set, I can write O delta complement as some finite set, say x1, x2 up to so on, xn. Okay. So now let us select x1 belongs to O alpha 1. We will select some open set. No, we can have this such that we will select O alpha, select O alpha 1 such that x1 belongs to O alpha 2. Select O alpha 2 in such that x2 belongs to O alpha 2. And so on. In the very similar way, we can select, let us select O alpha n such that xn is a member of O alpha n. And hence, now if you remember, we can say that x can be written as a union of a set with its complement. So O delta union with O delta complement. Okay. So now I can say X is covered by O delta union with, what is O delta complement? Now O delta complement we have written as x1, x2 up to so on, xn. This is what a finite set, no? Why it is a finite set? Because if O delta is a member of tau, its complement is a finite set. So if its complement is a finite set, we have selected this O alpha is. So let me write down this as a subset relation. Why this is so? Because instead of writing a single element, we have written x1 की जगह पे हम क्या लिखने वाले हैं, O alpha 1, x2 की जगह पे O alpha 2, xn की जगह पे O alpha n. So that's why this relation of equality we have written as a superset. So hence we can say that O alpha 1 union O alpha 2 and so on up to O alpha n. This shows that X has a finite subcurve, right? This is what n number plus 1. So we can say X has a finite subcover. Correct? So for any open cover of X, we have got a finite subcover in case 1 and 2, and hence proved that cofinite T space is a compact space. Okay? So those who want to repeat, you can see the lecture once again. If you have a doubt, you can ask me in the next lecture. Now let us prove that or show that union of two compact set is again a compact set. Okay, so for that, let us first select the two compact set. Then we have to prove that their union is also a compact set. Okay, it is very easy to prove that union of a two compact set is a compact set. But later on in the next lecture, we will see what about the intersection, whether the intersection of a compact set is compact or not. No doubt it is disproved statement, or we can say it is not true. Okay, so let us select A and B are compact set. Let us select A and B are the compact set. In X2. Let us select A and B are any two compact set in X2. Right? We have to prove that union of two compact set is again a compact set. To prove that the union of a compact set is again a compact set. A union B is compact. We have to prove that union of two compact set is a compact. To prove any set to be compact set, because A union B हे पण एक set येणार ना. A एक set है, B is another set, so union is again one set. So A union B is covered by union of all A alpha. Let us select A alpha be the open cover for A union B. Okay, so can I say A is contained in A union B and B is contained in A union B? Okay. So A is contained in A union B is contained in A union B. This is always true. And we have written that A is contained in A union B, but what we have written, A union B is covered by, say, A alpha. First we have found the open cover, then we have to find out a finite subcover. अगर इसको finite subcover मिलता है तो हम कह सकते हैं कि union of two compact set is again a compact. Okay. So when we can use a definition of A and B are compact, if we are able to find out the open cover for A and B. अगर A और B के लिए हम open cover find out कर सकते हैं तभी हम A और B के compact होने का property use कर सकते हैं, right? So here we can say A is covered by this one. Again we can say B is contained in A union B and A union B has a open cover, say A alpha. So again we can say B is covered by union of all A alpha. Right, so we got the open covers for A and B, right? A and B has open covers, and which implies, but given that, what is given to us? A and B are compact. अगर वो compact है तो क्या use कर सकते हैं? For every open cover we will have a finite subcover, which implies A and B has finite subcover. Okay, and B will have a finite subcover. So hence we can write that A is covered by union of all A alpha I, where I runs from 1 to n. Similarly, we can say that B is covered by union of all A alpha j, where j runs from 1 to some m. Okay. Now, this is what the two equation I have written. A is covered by some finite number of A alpha i's and B is covered by some A alpha j's. Now, combining these two equations, taking union on both sides, A union B is subset of what I can write, A alpha I, union of all A alpha I runs from 1 to n, some another set. Say first one is this one. Next we can say A alpha j, where j union of all j runs from 1 to m. Now which one you are going to select? Suppose A is covered by 100 sets, 100 open set, and suppose B is covered by some 200 open sets. So what we will select the union? We will select the largest among them or smallest among them. So what we are going to select? So from equation 1 and 2 we can say, suppose A is covered by some 100 sets and suppose B is covered by some 200 sets. So what we can say about A union B, whether A union B will be covered by, I can say it is union of our k runs from 1 to t such that A alpha k. What is k now in this case? This is also about A alphas ना, क्योंकि alpha सभी open sets है ना. So this t we can say that it is less than or equal to m plus n. इन दोनों का combination होगा ना. m plus n will be 300 less than or equal to 300, क्योंकि A को कवर करने के लिए कुछ different open set होंगे, B को कवर करने के लिए कुछ different open set होंगे. Maybe they are disjoint or not a disjoint. We don't know. So we have to consider this a generalization. Suppose A and B are disjoint, so there will have a different open covers, right? And they will have a different finite subcover. A is having some finite number of subcover. B is having some finite number of another subcover. So by considering all those facts, we will consider that T is less equal by m plus n. 100 plus 200, so T will be 300 in this case. Okay, assuming to be very general concept. Okay, so now we can say that as m and n both are finite, what will be T? T is also finite, 300 in this case. So which implies that we have started with the assumption. From where we have started, A union B has a open cover. For this open cover, we have found the finite subcover. What is a finite subcover? K runs from 1 to T, which implies that A union B is a compact. Okay, so hence we can say that union of two compact set is a compact set. Okay, in the very similar way, try to prove that whether the intersection of a two compact set is a compact set or not. Okay, try to prove that No doubt I know that you are not going to do, but it takes some more time to prove the intersection because we have to disprove this statement, and hence I will take this in the next lecture. Thank you very much. And I'm knowing that today is Eid, but try to see this lecture. A very Eid Mubarak to everyone.